It's like the never-ending day, and I hope, well, I don't even know if you guys are going to think this video is productive or helpful, because it's pretty much all a review and there's no end point. But if it's news to you, I would appreciate it if you let me know in the comments. Hello YouTubers, this is noobifier. On the 9th of October, CIG published a 30-minute overview hosted by Paul Reindl and Benoit Beausejour. The topic is the most important of all of them. Not saying that subsumption or other features aren't critical, but I think we can all agree that meshing is the blocker that's preventing the pitched vision from Kickstarter. Let's begin. I had many questions entering this panel. They were when, and how soon. Seriously. Chris pitched a seamless universe without shards, or at least invisible to the user. To achieve this, any player on the globe playing anywhere would technically be able to share a common space with every other player who happened to be there. So the overall issue really has to do with server technology, and even physical distance in latency. Anyone who's played FPS, MOBA, or RTS understands lag. Lag damages the experience and makes it difficult to hit reliably, or even results in silly movement. So broken immersion or broken gameplay, or both. You get the drop on someone and lag takes it away from you. Not fun normally, but unplayable and unacceptable in a game with permadeath. So now we're up to date with the overview of the issues, then how is CIG planning to address it, and when might we see it? Persistent stream and server meshing rely on object container streaming. Each object can be as large as a planet, as a moon, down to the station, down to the room in the station. Each nested in each other, ready to be added or subtracted as needed. Each asset within the container may be made up of other assets such as armor, weapons, plants, set dressings, and then even further, something such as a weapon may be made up of several assets as well. The server holds all of these containers in memory. The player's perspective of area of play is considered, and the required assets are streamed to the player. Large items are streamed sooner than small ones. Bind culling removes the items that leave the area of play, freeing up resources. All of this so far is a great refresher of stuff that we've heard for years. Instancing is one way to load share. Currently, each server has a cap of 50. As more are needed, a complete new shard or new server is created until it crashes or it's not needed anymore. Meshing at its simplest is simply a way to ensure that many instance servers share the same situation. As long as two players can fully interact with each other and all of their gear and all of the situation, it won't matter if they're on the same server or not, because they won't be able to tell. To achieve this, they're adding a replication layer, which is responsible for holding the current persistence, the current snapshot of the universe. Each entity can only be controlled by a single server to prevent issues, and it can be transferred. It was at this point where the stream went a little bit too far beyond what I need to know. I'm sorry, because it's very well presented and I do understand what's being said. I just don't need to know this level of detail. Again, the situation where transparency is being confused with extreme levels of detail. Transparency would be telling me what the state is and how soon it is to being completed, not necessarily how the nuts and bolts work. So, the TLDR is data logging everything about everything all the time. The data is also layered and nested. The data is protected from data copy errors through independent checks to ensure that nothing goes missing. Because if something went missing, that something could be you. Benoit said that they can still scale shards to meet demands, and each unique shard may be slightly different, but as long as what you did in the last shard and what you left is there when you join it again, your experience will be seamless. The system will try to put you back where you were or fetch all of your data about your last state so that it seems seamless. These active items are unstowed. Things you have stored somewhere else are stowed. Use an ASOP terminal or Mobiglass to unstow your stuff. When you put stuff away, it gets stowed again. This reduces overhead. Static server mesh is coming first before we can get a full version of what was spoken about. They spoke about how many features need to be migrated from what we have now to what we need to make this work, and they ended without any hints on when or how far along all of this stuff is. So, yes, great in theory. And they say that it's going to require major updates. Comment your comments in the comments. How many months or what patch do you feel that we're waiting for all of this stuff to be added? Thank you very much for spending your time with me. I know life is a marathon. I get it. It's sometimes just very difficult as a backer to consider how much actually still needs to be done before we can get out of alpha, never mind into beta. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.